Yeah, there's a great story to be had out there on Sisel Lean, and I can tell you, stories are things that people like to hear. They don't like to hear facts. They want to hear not the features, but the benefits that it has. You can support it a little bit with features, but here's the deal with Sisel Lean. There's a lot of companies that put out products for weight loss. And think of this, and you might be recording this if you want to. Of course, the call is recorded, but here's the point. There's lots of products that are out there for meal replacement weight loss. All of them are pretty well based upon one thing, and that is a low-calorie replacement for a meal that you're going to eat. So in all theory, if you take their product and say it's got 200, 300 calories in it, and a normal meal that you're going to eat is going to have about 1,500 calories in it. That's how much, well, not quite 1,500, but let's say 1,000 or 1,200. So if you take that in place of, say, a 1,200 calorie meal, that's probably more than the average, then you've reduced 1,000 calories in your diet. And so you're going to lose weight, right? Wrong. Because right now it takes about 1,500 calories to maintain our body weight, and everything over that we are accumulating as fat reserves. Why? Because our bodies are designed to store fat because for the hard times. It comes from not from the way we live now, but the way that we live since the beginning of humanity here on earth. When God put us here on earth, we had darn little except ourselves and some instructions to do things with. And so there were good times and there were lots of bad times, and our body was designed to store fat and reserves for the bad times. And so now that it's easy, you're not going to starve to death. You can go down to the store and get whatever you need. Maybe it's very cheap and inexpensive like pasta, but boy, will pasta pop on the pounds. But anyway, you're not going to starve to death. So if you look at the fundamentals of the story, and I'm getting a little too diverse on this, but you look at the fundamentals of the story. So you saved yourself 1,000 calories off a meal. You know what? So you put 200 on, and your other two meals are going to be equivalent to about, say, 1,200 calories each. So there's 2,400 calories plus the two. You're 2,600 calories, and you're still 1,000 over what you should be to maintain your body weight. So you skip two meals. Now you've skipped two meals. So now on two meals, you're getting down closer. So you had 26. You've taken another 1,000 off that. You're down to 1,600. Well, guess what, folks? You're about going to maintain how fat you are right there by skipping two meals. So what have you got to do? You got to do more than that, because that's not going to cut it for you. And that's the way these products work. Plus, if they're soy-based, soy is, there's an article out now. It's on the internet, and you can put it, and you find it if you want. It's called, "Is Soy the Next Asbestos?" And what a statement to make. But soy is one of the most heavily contaminated crops in the world. They spray so many pesticides and herbicides on it because everything grows on, it feeds on soy, and the weeds are so bad that it's heavily contaminated. And so companies try to get around that because the soy's got a big lobby, and they say, well, soy is so good for you. Oh, is it? Well, over in Israel, they don't let the soldiers take it any longer because it feminizes them, and it does. And so the soy industry says, well, we use non-GMO. Well, non-GMO has nothing to do with it. Removing the feminizing qualities that's in soy, they're still there. And so then some companies say, well, we only use the isolate. Well, they don't know what an isolate is. They're even talking about isolate means you isolate something. So what do they isolate? You see, and so they use these technical facts, and they know not what they say. But the problem is, about any type of soy that you use is going to affect your health a lot. It's going to affect your digestive system. It's going to increase your metabolic rate, or decrease your metabolic rate instead of increasing it. You're going to have metabolic syndrome, which is going to make it harder for you to lose weight. And guess what, folks? If you're a lady that's over 40, you got to exercise about an hour a day just to maintain your own weight. So you got a lot of things going against you, and yet you've got this weight loss product that's out. And so now we see a company that has really grown fast over the last couple of years after floundering for about 5 years and about going bankrupt. They got an investor, and they went out and did a weight loss challenge. and everybody's gone crazy, bonkers, psycho over the weight loss challenge, and they're buying new cars before they can afford to buy new cars. And I hear now thousands of new cars have been repossessed because people got too caught up in the euphoria of it. And you see people winning the contest, and they're winning the contest, and they've all got six-pack abs. Well, how does a weight loss product do that? Well, it doesn't do that. They get that from going to the gym. So here's people advertising the product's working so well to lose weight, and they're in there pumping iron for hours every single day so they can win this contest and advertise how well the products work. Well, doesn't that sound like it's kind of a lie to me? It's more than a white lie. It's really deceptive. And so when you look at all of that, what are you going to do? Do we miss 3 meals a day now so that we can get down to lose some weight? Do we hit the gym for 2 hours every day so that we can have that hour to maintain our weight and an hour to take off more so that we can have six-pack abs and say what the product did for us? Do you want that kind of a product? Or do you want to do a Fluck on us, a Jeff Fluck, now look at Aaron out there with his, Markuson. He is standing on the scale every day, and you see the numbers going down, down, down. People from this other company said, oh, that's unhealthy weight loss. You are absolutely right, folks from the other company. If they were using your product, it would be darn unhealthy weight loss. But with ours, it's very healthy. And ask Aaron. Why, he's perkier than a rotten buck. That son of a gun is starting to really feel good. He said, I've never felt healthier, and I'm eating healthy, and I feel good, and I've got lots of energy. Why? Because he's not using a soy-based product. And he's using one that has the most highly advanced products that have ever been created, and they're extracted out of milk. Yeah, out of milk. Oh, I can't take milk. Okay, what can't you take in milk? There's 1,100 compounds in milk. What can't you take? Well, we know what you can't take if you have a problem with milk. Usually it's the milk fats, or it's the lactose, or it's the hormones, or it's the insecticides, or the pesticides and herbicides that are in the feed that the cows milk. It's that they feed them to produce the milk. It's the antibiotics that they give the cows to kill the bacteria that continually forms in the udder, ongoing all the time, called mastitis, if you're from the farm. So look what you got. How do you know what you got? Well, I'll tell you what you got. If you're buying a whey product from somebody else with it, and usually they use whey and soy. Why do they use soy? Because it's so darn cheap, and we need protein. Wrong kind of protein, folks. You don't need that kind of protein. There's lots of kind of protein. Soy protein you do not need. And it's in baby foods now, and it's feminizing boys, and it's overdeveloping girls, and they're going through puberty at 10. Now, that's the other product. So you buy a whey product. What have you got? All that crap I just talked about. You buy soy, and look at that. The dangers of soy are tremendous. Is it mimics asbestos? I think it darn well could be. So what do we have? Well, we have a filtration system, and we just filter off all that garbage, and we put it where it's supposed to be. Out with the garbage. Get rid of the junk. And what we extract through this selective low-temperature filtration system, which does not denature the proteins, which leaves them biologically active and intact for our SiseLean, so that now when you take it, you are not taking away, you are not taking that bulk protein that has been cooked to pieces to where it doesn't have any stimulatory effect. You are taking serum proteins, peptides, polypeptides, loaded with energy, ready to fire off, ready to get into your cells, ready to change yourself so dramatically, so that now they have a biological value, and we're going to talk about that. And most biological values is how much fat will the protein burn, and most of them don't burn much. Ours will burn about 3 or 4 times what others will. It'll build muscle, it'll build bone, it'll build tissue. It will build all of that. It'll set your cells into a fat-burning furnace. And when you lose that 100 pounds like Jeff does, or Mark is going to come up on him, and both of them will be racing for, I don't know how thin they're going to be. Pretty soon you won't recognize them. There'll be a third of them what there was. But they're going to be there because they build a magnificent body, and they'll have no six-pack abs, but they'll be healthier than a horse, and they'll look great too, because we got the power in our products. That's the story of our product. We've got the power, and we don't have any of the garbage that goes with it. Pretty simply said, isn't it? But now you got it. You can get this recording. You can cut that out and chop it up in little pieces and write it down and practice the way you want to say it. And what have you got? I'll tell you what you got. You got dynamite. You got the product to build an empire on. You can build your fortune on it. 60% of America is overweight, and half of those are obese. So go get them, folks. We got the greatest story in the world because we got the greatest product in the world, and we got the greatest compensation plan to go with it. How can you lose? You can't. You snooze, you lose. You reap what you sow. So get off your rear, get into gear, and get going. There's no story like us. Thank you.